Are you ready?
Yep.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, first off, I'd like to welcome all of our Team M14 families. Okay, we're excited to get our first official season started. And this is a special group, and we couldn't think of a better group to get it started with. All right, just a quick brief intro, okay, on M14 Hoops and the vision behind Team M14. Obviously, like we told you guys, for the past 9 years, we've been basketball skills development only, where we help players develop through training sessions. This upcoming fall and winter, we're excited to be able to offer that complete development system with being with offering games, right? Helping players where it matters. Okay. A reminder for our goals. Obviously, we have different things that we want to get accomplished with each grade level. Okay. For each season, but the goal is development, right? It all revolves around development. Like I told you guys in the parent meeting, obviously, winning matters, and that is part of development. Okay, so we got to balance the two, but development will always trump winning at the end of the day. Okay, uh, for that. Okay, the purpose of this meeting is number one to get our communication all figured out. Okay, we'll talk about how we'll be communicating to you guys and getting different messages to all the families and the parents. Okay, next we're gonna go over schedules. Then we'll talk about expectations for this season, and then last we'll finish with the logistics. Okay. Um, First, let's start off with team communication. All team communication will happen through LeagueApps. I'm gonna hand the floor over to Lindy. She's in charge of our operations for the teams and training, and we'll be overseeing all team communication. She's going to explain to you guys how we'll be communicating with each team and how to get you set up on your end. Lindy, go ahead.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Nick. So we will be using, you're familiar with LeagueApps already, if you were, since you're obviously with the program, but LeagueApps has an app that's geared towards the team aspect where we will use that to, that'll be your blueprint. It'll be your guide for your schedule, for your practices, where you're going, for your games. Once we pull them off once we get the schedule, we will load them also. Um, we ask that you RSVP for your kids for the games. It's easy. You just click the RSVP just so we can make sure to have a head count for the games. We'll also use it for messaging parents. If there's a last minute change of, like all of a sudden we get there and court 3 has something broken and they're moving your game to court 2, we'll message on there to get the word out as quick as possible. LeagueApps is pretty self-explanatory. It also gives you a roster of all the kids that are on your players' team, so you can see their teammates. The players uh, to sign into the app. It's your same login information as you are signing into LeagueApps to register your kid for a program or for the teams itself. Um, the You have to be, if you have multiple, like if both parents want to have access to the schedule, you just have to make sure that you're listed. Both parents emails are listed in the family settings under your players. I'll have your email address and your name. But then at that point, if you sign in under the same account, you both will have access to being able to view the schedule, to send questions if you have questions. There'll be a way for you to message also if you have questions. There's a way to message me, if something pops up or something doesn't look right, or if you have a question, feel free to use that app to contact me also. Um, I will also be at practices this week. If you guys have any questions, if you have trouble downloading, or if you have questions once you download it, I'll be there to answer any questions that may come up. So feel free to seek me out. I'll try to walk around and also ask to make sure everybody's good to go. But I think that is the gist of the app. Like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. The app itself is a green square with a big white L, and it's called League Apps Teams is the name of the app itself. So that's all I have, Nick.
Thank you, Lindy. All right, let's talk about the game schedules. Okay. Like Lindy said, excuse me, we'll be uploading each team's game schedule into the League Apps team page, but you'll also be able to find that game schedule on the Pacers Athletic Center app. which is the official app for the IYBL League. Okay, it is exactly what it sounds like. You go to your app store, type in Pacers Athletic Center, and then you download that, and then on there you'll see the league listed. IYBL Fall Session is what you would find, and it's pretty easy to navigate and find your player's grade and age and our team name on there. Our teams will be listed exactly the way we've listed it to you guys. So, for example, if your player is on the first boys black team, that's what will show up on the Pacers Athletic Center app. But again, we will have that on LeagueApps as well. Okay. Scheduling updates. Typically, they update the schedule every Wednesday on the Pacers Athletic Center app. So as soon as we get that update, we'll update the apps so that you guys have it on your LeagueApps team page. Okay. It always displays about 7 to 10 days worth of games, which will be around 2 weeks in advance. The schedule is subject to change, so I always tell parents don't marry yourself to that schedule because it is subject to change. We will be monitoring and the schedule and be able to communicate any adjustments that are being made as soon as we see them. Okay, when you download that Pacer Athletic Center app, you do have the option to be able to sign up as a parent to get any updates for the team that you'll be following on there. So it's pretty cool. But again, like I said, and like Lindy said earlier, we'll be updating all that stuff on LeagueApps as well, so that we are communicating to you guys from our end. All right. Practices officially started this week. We had our first set of practices yesterday. Went really, really well. Obviously, your first week of practices and first couple of weeks is training camp, right? So things are ugly. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get some stuff implemented because we're doing a lot of installation in regards to our offense and our defense. But I thought the kids came with the right attitude and we were able to get a lot of stuff accomplished. Okay. Remember, all of our team practices will be held at the Best Choice Fieldhouse. Okay. So team stuff always at Best Choice Fieldhouse in regards to practices. Training, if you train in Westfield, that'll always be at the Pacers Athletic Center. And if you train at our Noseville location, that'll always be at the Finch Creek Fieldhouse. Okay. But team stuff is always, at the Best Choice Fieldhouse. All right. Your players' practice schedule is listed in the welcome email that we sent out last week, but it'll also be posted on your players' team page for LeagueApps. Hey, expectations for practice. We want players to bring their own basketball and water bottle, just like our training sessions. Okay. Players must wear their practice jersey to every practice. Obviously, we put those orders in. As soon as we get those practice jerseys, we'll make sure we hand them out to your player. Once they get them, we do need them wearing those practice jerseys to every practice. Okay. And then the rest of the rules follow the same structure and standards as our M-XIV training sessions. Okay. So your player needs to come in locked in, bring some energy, effort, and respect is always at a premium for us. Gear and uniforms, okay? The gear packages have been ordered, and we are hopeful to get those jerseys in, get that full gear package in before our first games. Remember, the league starts this weekend on the 18th, but because of us just starting practice this week and fall break, we won't start playing games until the weekend of the 25th. Okay, so we're hoping to have those uniforms and backpacks in by then. If not, we'll definitely have the practice jerseys and at least have to wear that for a week or two as we're waiting for those uniforms. Okay. Once the gear arrives, like I said, we will make sure that we get that all distributed out to each player. Okay. You don't have to come ask us. Your player won't have to ask us. We'll have that stuff ready for them. Trust me, we're excited and can't wait till we can give them their gear so they can be repping the 14 out there on the basketball courts. Games and parents' expectations, okay? Arrival time. We want players to arrive 30 minutes before each game. Okay, so if your player's game is scheduled to start at 1 p.m., we want them there by 12:30 at the venue they're playing in full uniform. Reason for that is if you guys have ever competed in the IYBL, sometimes the game before that's scheduled before you can end early, and then they'll try to start that next game as early as possible. It helps them stay on track in case a game goes to overtime or other things happen. So we need to have our players there ready to go. But then also it allows the coach to kind of go through the game plan and get the kids prepared for the game. I don't know about you, but I never played well in any game that I just showed up right at game time for. Right, it takes time to start mentally prepare and to kind of get them ready for the game. So please have your player arrive 30 minutes before the game, okay? The uniform, they must arrive in full uniform. We know that it's starting to get cold outside, so they got to wear their coats, and the hoopers don't like wearing basketball shoes outside, which is okay. Okay, just make sure that they got their uniform under whatever they're wearing to keep themselves warm, but then also be ready to, so they can step in ready to go. On the app for League Apps, excuse me, not League Apps, on the Pacer Athletic Center app for the games, the top team is the home team. So if we're listed top, we'll wear our home uniforms. If we're the second team or the bottom team, we'll be wearing our away. For the girls, their jerseys will be red for the away side and then gray on the home side. And then for the boys, it'll be black for the away side and gray for the home side. So, and then Lindy will also list that on your app too, so your player knows if it's a home or away game, so they know which side of the jersey to wear. Okay, parent expectations. I think we all know this, but definitely want to go over it. You guys know how we do stuff at M14. We all represent each other, so the game setting is no different. I do know that games do bring out a different part of people, right? Different set of emotions. We've all been there on the player side, coaching side, and parent side. But we do ask you guys to represent us in the right way, just like we're going to represent you guys. So we need positive support only. Okay. Be mindful of what you're saying when you're watching the games, especially if you're talking about another kid. Okay. That parent can be sitting next to you, whether it's on our team or another team. All right. So let's be respectful of everybody's feelings out there. Okay. Make sure you modeling the M14 Hoops Championship culture. Okay. We represent you guys just like you guys represent us. That means that we lay off the referees. Okay, I've never seen a situation where parents are getting after a referee and then that referee changed their vibe for that team. It normally hurts the team in the long run, right? They're not getting any calls now, and I've seen parents get thrown out of games. Please don't be that parent. It never works out that way. For our coaching staff, they all went through a coaching certification this past week, and part of that certification is we talked about interactions with players, coaches, and fans and referees, right? And part of those interactions with referees, under no circumstance should they ever get a technical foul. Um, we are there to make sure that we maintain the safety for our players. That's the only interaction we need to have with the referees, and on a timeout, knowing where the ball is going to be out, so you can draw up the right play. We did work on ATOs, so hopefully they can show you a little bit of that. But anyway, let's lay off the referees, okay? And then also interacting with other parents, okay? We've seen some things go south, just having some words exchanged, and obviously, again, like I said, the games bring up, bring out some different emotions. So let's kind of stay on the right side of that thing. Scores table, okay? Each team has to provide at least one parent to assist each week for the scores table. So the IYBL League does not provide a score, somebody to work the clock and somebody to work the book. We will need one parent from each team to be able to volunteer for that. Let's rotate volunteers so it doesn't fall on one person. Now, obviously, I've been in situations where you have a dad or a mom that prefers to work the score table. They want to do it every single time. By all means, you can do that. But most situations, parents aren't, volunteering to do that. So if every family volunteers to chip in at least one or two games, then that should kind of lighten the load on and not fall on one person. Okay. We can kind of go from there. One thing, when you are working at the scores table, you are not there to be a coach, right? So please don't be coaching your kid from the scores table or any other kid from the scores table. What you're there for is to watch the game, keep the score, and then you can update the coach on fouls and timeouts, okay? You could be an assistance for that. Moving on, coaching and staffing updates. Okay. Our coaches will be announced the second week of practice. We'll officially announce it by Monday the 20th. Okay. Heads up, players may not meet their coach until the first game. Okay. Our fall academy is concluding. So some coaches are finishing up their sessions and won't be at practice. We're trying to navigate through that whole process. So the first time they might meet their coach might be at a game. I know that doesn't sound super awesome, but again, like we told you guys like I told you at the parent meeting, all practices will be run by myself, Coach Randy, or Coach Eric, with the coaches assisting, just to make sure that everything's being implemented. All right. If it makes you feel any better, all of our team coaches have completed a coaching clinic and a certification process to become M14 certified, coach certified. All right. That coaching clinic and certification was a 3-day process. where each coach learned our philosophy, our team philosophy, our offensive system, our defensive system, and how that all plugs into our system of development. Okay. So they're all trained up and certified and ready, and they understand, they know all of our plays, they know exactly what's being implemented, and we meet weekly as a coaching staff to go over the coaching, or to go over the practice plan so that everybody knows what's going on, even if they're not there. Okay. And then we talk daily and give them updates like, hey, this is what happened, um, so on and so forth. Okay. Shifting our focus over to closing remarks. Okay. Uh, some common questions that we've been receiving in regards to the team stuff. One is fall break. A lot of parents asking, hey, letting us know, hey, we're going to be out of town for fall break. Is that going to be a problem? No issue at all. Obviously, you guys probably booked your fall break vacations before we even announced we were on teams, and I highly doubt that even if you knew we were on teams, you were going to stay here in Indiana when you get a week off, right? So your player missing this week because of fall break is not an issue at all. We'll get them caught up next week on what they would have missed. We're not going to get too far ahead because we are expecting to miss a lot of players. So, what that means is this week during practice, your player might only see a third or half of their team. Okay, because the other half is missing because of fall break. Okay, so when you look out there, don't get scared because you only see two players from your player's team. Each team has at least 7 players on it, so it's around 7 to 9 players on each team. We have enough players on each team, so it's just fall break. That's why the players won't be there. If your player will miss because of fall break, no issue at all. We'll see them next week when they get back. Okay. The team store. Okay. Team store. We opened up another team store. Okay. So the other one closed last week. Okay. And obviously, we had a lot of people who weren't able to order stuff because it was such a quick turnaround. So they were able to open up another store for us with the same stuff. Okay. That'll be open until October 20th. You should have received a link for that store. It'll be a link in the email that this video was attached in for you to get on there and be able to order some team gear so we can have some team spirit when we're out there. Okay. Lastly, make sure you check League Apps and the Pacer Athletic Center the Pack app, the Pacer Athletic Center app weekly for schedule updates, so that you guys can stay up to date with everything. But that is it. Again, thank you guys for your support and your partnership on building these teams. We're looking forward to having an amazing season. Thank you, and have a good day.